Hello and welcome to this new blog post where we want to have a look at financial planning with the Power Platform. Before we dig into details, here a short agenda. First, I would like to give you a short introduction, what I want to cover in this post. Then we will have a look at the solution design. I will do a demo and then we make a summary and I will give you an outlook. So first, the introduction. So, if we start talking about financial planning and maybe forecasting, then we need a financial planning process that involves, of course, different people, different parties, areas, cost centers, departments, and so on. We usually also need something where we can follow up things. So we need to plan what needs to be done and then assign people who needs to do something. Until what day or what time. Then of course we want to track the progress of how the planning is going on, and then we want to record, of course, the most important thing, the financial data for the different areas, which can be cost centers, departments, and so on. And if you think about it, well, maybe the first thing you come across is the Microsoft App Source, where you can find a lot of apps that help you with the planning and forecasting process. But what I did not like from that is, first of all, they cost money. Usually they are not for free. Then many times they are specialized on a specific product. Some of the tools, they work only with SAP, some only with finance operations, some are purely based on Power BI, and so on. And many times making an adjustment to those tools is not possible, or it requires really special knowledge. So if you have a Power BI based planning and forecasting tool, you really need to be very deep in Power BI to make adjustments and changes there. And most of the time there is no integration with the standard office tools such as Outlook, Teams, Planner. If you want to assign people to different tasks, what they need to do until when, so that they can follow up, then most of the time this thing is missing. That's why I said, okay, what can we do? And of course, here you see already the lucky or smiling man, the Power Platform. We can use the Power Platform. Why? We have an application, Power Apps, that allows us entering data in a structured format. We can automate processes and tasks, send notifications out with the help of Power Automate. With Power BI to do the reporting and analysis. And of course, all of that is integrated with the Microsoft 365 or Office suite. So what I did based on this background is I created basically a Power App. That's how it looks like. And on top, I start with Microsoft Planner. Why Microsoft Planner? Well, because it allows you to plan, schedule, assign tasks to people that are responsible for doing something. Then of course I have Power BI, because that's probably the best BI and reporting tool that we have available. And here at the bottom, what I highlight here, these are integrations into Power Automate, Power Apps, where I see connections from Planner, from Outlook, from Teams, and so on, that help me guiding or analyzing the planning and forecasting process. And the most important thing is, of course, the data entrance in the middle. So now, after all of this introduction, let's have a look at the demo. What I designed, how I did that, and how you can make it even better. So let's switch to my demo system. Okay, so I'm here in my demo system in the Power App that I already opened. And what you see here are the 4 different icons that I explained. The first one, and maybe let's start with that one, is an integration into Planner. Of course, I could have also used something else like Project for the Web or something. But I said I want to try this one to show you what's going on. So here on the side you can see the different plans and forecasts that I use. So for example, we have here Ludwig's forecast 25. If I move my recording icon here, then you can see what happens is I have here the different departments or areas that need to budget or forecast something. I assign the people, have a start and end date, and you see here this one is already overdue. I can add buckets and I have a progress here, and of course this is also available in a board view. You can create different buckets. You can see what's going on from a status perspective, what might be completed or not, and you also have an integration into a calendar. Of course, you can do more. You can have conversations, you can have files and notebooks, so you can make notes, all integrated into this. And of course, if you want to do the same next year, you can just copy the plan, and then you can start with this thing here. Okay, so that's the starting point. So let's close it and return to our app. Next thing is, now I'm playing the role as a financial controller, and what I want to see is what's going on. So of course I can open a planner, but I also created here a dashboard that gives us an overview of what's going on. So let's say we are here in the forecast 25, and then I see, okay, here are the different tasks. These are the people that are assigned, and then you see here icons. And the icons, these are basically Power Automate flows that are triggered once I click them, and they send out a message saying, hey, please complete or do something. Let me try to find another example where we have probably multiple users, because you can assign multiple users. It's not only one. Not sure where I did that. Yeah, here you see. So it's not limited to a single user. You can also assign more than a single user, David, system admin, and so on. And then say, okay, the one who gets the email is the first person or the last person or whatever you define. So that's also possible. But now let's continue with our Ludwig's forecast 25. And the first step would be, when everything is ready, when you set up your plan, is to notify the users that they have to do something. So you would come here and click on this button. I click on that, and then Bob will get a message, an email basically saying that he has to do something for this forecast. You also see here a red icon. Why is that? Well, I said, okay, first you send out an email. So let's try with David. So here there is no red icon. Why? Because the due date has not passed. But here we are already late, therefore I can send out a reminder. Okay, so that's basically an overview of the financial controller. And of course you see here percentage of completion, when something has been completed, whether a follow-up email is available or not, and then the completion icon once we completed the things. Now let's move to my user, which is here Bob. Let me open his account. So he got here a message that he has been assigned to a team, but this one is more important, that he has to complete the budget or forecast for this plan. And now what he can do is, of course, he can open the Power App. So let's do that. And I think there was a refresh. Let's see. Yeah, let's refresh that quickly to allow him to work on the latest version. And I gave him access to this one here. So if he clicks on that, he can open a planner. He can check out, hey, what's going on with this forecast? What's my task? When is the deadline? And if you want, you can track here additional things. You can make a checklist. You can add comments. You can add notes. You can even chat with this person to tell him that what's going on. Okay, but the most important thing is, of course, that he enters the data. So here I'm opening this, and then you see it's not perfect what I'm doing here. because I could have already pre-populated this. So that's his department, administration, and also the year could have been pre-populated. But it's something you can easily adjust. What I want to show you is the basic principle here. So let's say he forecasts sales of 750,000 and cost of goods sold of 500,000. Yeah. And the advantage of doing the recording this way is that this user cannot add columns. He cannot add additional rows like in Excel. Yeah. So he cannot mess around with the data and basically, destroy your Excel templates that you might have used in the past. Yeah. So he can just go here, enter the data, let's say advertising, 5,000 and so on. And once he's finished, he says, okay, I initially submitted. Why initially submit? Well, maybe this person is not sure whether the data is correct. Maybe he has to talk to somebody else. Then we have here on top, you see that, the Teams integration. You can directly with chat, you can chat with the people in your team, maybe with the financial controller and so on. Once you're sure and have all the information, then you come here and say, hey, show me what I have entered. And that's basically what you see here is basically a gallery that shows you the data that have been entered. And then here on the bottom, I gave you some additional information that I will submit once I'm finished. But now let's say that this user got the information that, well, the COGS is probably wrong. It's not 500,000, but maybe 550,000. So he can come here, edit this, and then correct his entrance. And behind the scenes, behind these buttons are always triggers that update the data in my Dataverse table. Behind that, there's a Dataverse table that holds all of these records. Of course, I can also remove the record, but I do not want. But I say, okay, now I'm happy. And I can submit the selected data. So basically telling the financial controller that I'm finished. So let's click that. Then things are disappearing and then I can exit the app. Or I can go back and check my status in the, let's go back. Yeah, so if we come here and check the planner, then you should see that this task is crossed, it's completed. So all looks good for this user. Now let us go back to my financial controller and have a look at what he sees. So if we go back, then of course he can also open the planner from here. He will see the same result. Now in his dashboard, if we open it, and here I have to switch one time because I did not put much effort into the design of that and the update. But what you see here is the percentage of completion is 100%. Now it says complete and my financial controller has an overview of what's going on. David still has time, so it's no issue. And the system admin, he did not even get his initial email. But it's a nice way how you can track how much progress we made in our budgeting process. Okay, now let's come to this third icon, where the financial controller wants to check what has been entered. And what I'm doing here is I filter. Well, if we clean that, you will see that here are all of my budgets and forecasts. So I filter here Ludwig forecast 25. So you see here Bob has entered something. These are the data. And if I want, I can directly check the thing on the Power BI report. So the BI report that I included here is based on a direct query. Might not be the best one from a performance perspective, but for small data sets, so if you work with a couple of people on that and not millions of records, then this is a good solution. And now let's have a look at our forecast. So it's here. You can see it's complete. Here you noticed there was something that was not complete, where the user just submitted, make an initial submit of the data, but he wanted probably to talk to somebody else. So you can also find out what's going on here. Then you see here all of the data. So 750,000, the 550. And then I said, okay, here at the bottom, I want to have sales and COGS by area, here by plan. And then I want to have the other costs, like here advertisement, professional fees, and whatever I have, I want to see them separately. But now let's say, hey, I'm not happy with the data. The COGS are too high. So me as a financial controller, I want to adjust it. And of course, before you make an adjustment, you see here again the Teams icon. You can chat with the person who submitted the data. And once this person is fine, let's say you enter here 350,000. Again, clicking this button will trigger a flow that updates the records in Database. It's pretty fast. So now if I click on my Power BI report and filter again for this forecast data, you will see that the change that I made is directly visible here. And of course, I mean, if you have different departments, you will see them here. Maybe I have another example where we have some more data. So here you see marketing, purchase, and then you can filter on what you want to see. Maybe you are just interested in a couple of them. You can slice and dice the data. And if you are happy, you can print this report, the current page. Or if you want, you can even export the data. And that might be important if you have an ERP system such as Dynamics 365 Finance, SAP, Oracle, and want to import the budget data that you have. So you can, based on the user rights, just click here, and this will open the Dataverse table that I have behind. So that's my Dataverse table with all of the users, percentage of completion, and so on. And here you can say, okay, I want to export the data, or I want to have a link to Azure Synapse, where you can do other things. So there's a lot of possibilities that you can do out of the box with this tool. Okay. And finally, this report button basically gives us the same result that we just saw, just a different way how to navigate there. Okay, so that's the short demo that I had for you. Now let's go back to my PowerPoint for some important notes and remarks. Okay, so after this short demo, here a quick summary and outlook. So what are some things that I highlighted here? Well, the solution that I showed you is not perfect. There are many things to improve, and I have a couple of things that I want to show you next. But even though it's not perfect, it shows you how you can incorporate different Microsoft components that you have already in your subscription. So if you use Office E3, E5 subscriptions, you already have Planner, you already can chat in Teams, you already have availability or access to Power Apps and so on. And this is something that most of these third-party tools don't have. So you can build it yourself. And even incorporate a complex or rather complex business process that involves multiple parties. Then of course it's easy, fast and cheap compared to other solutions. And of course I also mentioned here it's a low-code solution, so you do not need to code for that. And but you can do it yourself in a similar way, of course. Fix all the things that I did not well. But the thing here is if your finance and controlling department is designing such a process, they are the owner of this. They're the masters of their own application and don't buy a third party product that they might not very like very much. So you can design something that really fits your specific needs in a couple of days. It's not in a couple of hours, it will take probably a couple of days until you have this finished. But this is still usually much cheaper and more fit to your, a better fit, let's say, to your custom requirements than buying something external. Here's some things to improve. Allocations. What I did not show you is I did not show you how to distribute the amounts over the different months. Is this difficult? No. You just need some additional columns in the Dataverse table. Select the key, and then by pressing a Power Automate button, you can distribute it over the different months or quarters or whatever you have. So it's pretty easy. Yeah, just give it a try. What I did not show you here is I did not include or illustrate the previous year data. Why? Well, because I said I do not want that people just copy and paste from the previous year. They should think about what they want to have next year or what they forecast. Huh? Of course, I know that many people are doing that and want to have a previous year comparison. You can do that. Just include another gallery, put a filter on it, and then you see the previous year data that your users might see. Huh? And of course, also if you have different hierarchies, so not only cost centers, but departments and below departments cost centers, and then maybe something else, or business units that follow a different structure for which you want to budget, then you can also incorporate that. I have not done that, but I have a following blog post where I show you how to incorporate hierarchies. It's very simple. You just need to define the kind of layout, define a kind of identifier that tells the user what position an entity, so for example a cost center, has in a specific structure, and then you can incorporate it. And so on. I think you have more ideas than I have here. But I hope you got the idea what you can do with the Power Platform to generate something that really fits your requirements for a very low cost, and with an integration into the complete Microsoft stack. So thanks for listening and watching, and then till next time.